My sister Rachel and I grew up in the same house, but not really in the same family. That sounds dramatic when I say it out loud now. Back then, it was smaller, harder to explain. Rachel got softness. I got management. If Rachel forgot her homework, Mom drove it to school. If I forgot mine, it became a lecture about responsibility. Rachel cried. People gathered around her. I cried once after getting dumped sophomore year, and my mother looked genuinely uncomfortable, like I'd started bleeding on the carpet. "Claire," she said quietly, glancing toward the hallway in case someone heard me. "You need to stop taking things so personally." That sentence followed me for years. The weird thing is, Mom wasn't openly cruel. That would have been easier. She was attentive in public, hosted baby showers, sent handwritten sympathy cards, remembered birthdays. People loved her. She just had a way of turning me into the tense one in every room. By 32, I'd gotten good at making myself smaller before entering family events. I arrived early, helped set up, never disagreed too strongly about anything. I learned how to leave before conversations shifted into stories about Rachel. Rachel's husband Ethan once joked, after too many beers, "You know your mom talks about you like you're some kind of temporary exchange student." Rachel kicked him under the table so hard he spilled his drink. Nobody addressed it. That's how things worked in our family. Someone would say something awful, then everybody rushed to smooth the surface before the truth had time to breathe. 3 years ago, Mom downsized from the house we grew up in to a condo outside Asheville. Rachel handled most of it, or at least that's what everyone said. She's been amazing through this whole process. She's doing everything. Your mother's lucky to have her. Meanwhile, I was driving 2 hours every other weekend, helping sort 40 years of accumulated junk, while Rachel took phone calls in the other room and complained about contractors. Mom started introducing the condo as Rachel's project. One afternoon, I found a box in the garage labeled Claire. Not my childhood things, not photo albums, just random leftovers nobody wanted. A broken lamp, old tax folders, one winter coat that wasn't even mine. I stood there longer than I should have. Mom walked in carrying iced tea from the kitchen. "Oh, good," she said casually. "I figured you could go through your pile." Your pile. Like the house had already decided what belonged to who. I laughed a little because she was looking at me expectantly, waiting for me to keep things pleasant. "You okay?" she asked. And there it was, that tone. Not concern, containment. People think manipulation sounds aggressive. Sometimes it sounds like a woman holding iced tea asking why you're making things uncomfortable. "I'm fine," I said. Of course I said that. Rachel came in 20 minutes later wearing leggings and carrying paint samples. "Mom said you found your memory box," she said. Memory box. Interesting upgrade from pile. I remember looking at her face, trying to figure out if she even noticed herself doing it. Reframing things, depending on who entered the room. She sat cross-legged on the floor and started talking about backsplash colors while I sorted through paperwork nobody else wanted to touch. At one point, Mom said, "Rachel's always had such a gift for making spaces feel warm." Then she looked at me. "And Claire's good with details." I don't know why that one stayed with me. Maybe because it was so small. Not even insulting. Just limiting. Like warmth belonged to one daughter and utility belonged to the other. A month later, Mom had a minor stroke. Not catastrophic. Scary, though. Rachel called me crying from the hospital parking lot. "I can't do this by myself," she said. That sentence hit me harder than it should have. because suddenly I wasn't the difficult one. I was useful again. For the next 6 months, I handled appointments, medication schedules, insurance calls, physical therapy calendars. Rachel visited often, but in bursts. Flowers, smoothies, Instagram stories from Mom's balcony. I handled logistics. Mom started calling me every morning around 8. At first, it felt nice. Then I noticed something strange. Whenever Rachel visited, Mom wouldn't answer my calls afterward for a day or two. Short texts instead. "Busy today, sweetheart. Everything fine. Talk later." And then, suddenly, she'd need me again. One Friday, I drove down after work because Mom said her washing machine was leaking. I walked in using the spare key. Rachel was there. So was a realtor. Conversation stopped when I entered. Not dramatically, worse than that. Quietly, like they'd all agreed not to panic. "Oh," Rachel said too fast. "You're early." The realtor smiled politely and started gathering folders. Mom wouldn't look directly at me. I remember hearing the refrigerator hum. That stupid detail burned itself into my brain because nobody was speaking normally. "What's going on?" I asked. Rachel answered first. "We're just exploring options." "Options for what?" Mom finally spoke. "For the condo." I stared at her. "You said you wanted to stay here." "Well," she adjusted the sleeve of her cardigan, "things change." Nobody invited me into the conversation. That was the part I couldn't stop feeling. Not the sale itself, the assumption that decisions had already been made somewhere else. Rachel kept smiling in this strained, exhausted way, like she was managing a difficult client. "We didn't want to overwhelm you until things were clearer." Overwhelm me. I almost laughed. I'd been organizing Mom's medication by color-coded containers for half a year, while Rachel disappeared every other weekend to wine tastings with friends. But somehow I was the fragile one. The realtor left quickly after that. Mom started wiping an already clean counter. Rachel checked her phone 3 times in 1 minute. Nobody made eye contact. Finally, I asked the question that had apparently been waiting in the room before I arrived. "Where would you go?" Mom hesitated. Rachel answered for her. "With us." There it was. Not temporary either. Permanent. A renovated guest suite over Rachel's garage. Ethan had apparently already started drawing plans. I sat down slowly because suddenly I felt tired in a physical way. Not emotional. Bone tired. Mom started talking quickly then. Too quickly. "Well, it just makes practical sense, and Rachel has more space, and the boys adore me, and you're so busy all the time, and your apartment has stairs." People over-explain when they know something sounds bad. That's what I've learned. I listened quietly while she explained why living with Rachel was simpler. Nobody mentioned that my apartment had a second bedroom I'd already offered to convert for her recovery months earlier. Rachel finally looked at me. "You understand, right?" I don't know why that sentence broke something in me. Maybe because she genuinely believed she was the compassionate one. I looked around the condo, at the framed family photos Rachel had mostly chosen, at the throw blankets Rachel picked, at the kitchen where I'd spent 6 months refilling pill organizers while being treated like temporary staff. And suddenly, I saw it clearly. They didn't hate me. That would have required emotional honesty. They just built a family shape where I existed as support structure instead of person. I stood up. Mom looked nervous immediately. "Claire, no, it's okay," I said. And weirdly, I meant it. Not okay like forgiving them.
Okay, like finally understanding the rules. Rachel followed me to the parking lot. She kept talking while I unlocked my car.
You know Mom didn't mean to upset you. I nodded. She worries you isolate yourself. Another nod. And honestly, Rachel crossed her arms against the cold. You can be hard to read sometimes. There it was again. Every family has a language for shifting blame onto the person reacting instead of the people causing the reaction. Too sensitive, hard to read, intimidating, difficult. I leaned against the car door. You know what the weird part is? I asked quietly. Rachel blinked. I don't think either of you even notices when you erase me anymore. Her expression changed for half a second. Not guilt, exactly. Recognition. Then it disappeared. That's not fair, she said softly. And maybe she believed that. That's the dangerous kind of family dynamic. The kind where nobody thinks they're cruel because nobody ever says the quiet part out loud.
I left before the conversation could turn into another negotiation about tone.
Mom moved in with Rachel 2 months later. After that, the calls slowed down, then mostly stopped. I wasn't needed for logistics anymore. At Christmas, Rachel texted, Mom says she misses you. Not, I miss you. Mom says, like she was forwarding a customer service message. I almost didn't go. But I did. Because part of me still wanted proof I'd imagined everything. Dinner was loud, warm, overcrowded. Rachel's boys running through the house, Ethan opening wine, Mom sitting near the fireplace, wrapped in one of Rachel's expensive knit blankets. Everybody looked comfortable, practiced. At one point, Mom reached for Rachel's hand while telling a story about recovery after the stroke. I don't know what I would have done without this one, she said emotionally. The room softened around them. Nobody mentioned me. Not maliciously. That's important. Nobody actively excluded me. I was just unrequired. I sat there smiling slightly, with a wine glass in my hand, feeling like I'd accidentally stayed too long after a party ended. And something inside me finally got tired of auditioning for belonging. I left early. Nobody stopped me. Rachel texted 20 minutes later. You disappeared. Not, are you okay? Just confusion about the interruption in atmosphere. I pulled into a gas station off the highway and sat there for a while with the engine running. Then, I blocked both their numbers. Not dramatically. No speech, no announcement. I just got tired. That's the part people never tell you. Sometimes estrangement doesn't happen after screaming. Sometimes it happens because your body quietly realizes love should not feel like administration. It's been 14 months. I heard through a cousin that Mom tells people she doesn't understand what happened. Maybe she really doesn't. Rachel sent one email last spring asking if I'd reconsider for Mom's birthday dinner. I stared at it for an hour, then deleted it. No reply. Last week, I bought a small house outside Knoxville. Nothing fancy. Old hardwood floors, uneven porch steps. Quiet. The kind of place where nobody introduces me as the difficult one. Sometimes I still catch myself rehearsing explanations in my head. Imaginary conversations where I finally say everything perfectly enough for them to understand. But I don't think understanding was ever the issue. Some families need one person carrying the discomfort, so everybody else can keep pretending things are fine. I just finally stopped volunteering.